Hola, I'm back. So here's my second video. And today I want to talk about things that we can do to cope with the challenges of this second lockdown that we're living here in the UK. These are things that I've been doing myself that have been helping me cope with the mental health side of things. During the first lockdown, I had a really hard time. I mean, I was okay in the end, but it's been really hard. Of course, it's been hard for everyone. But for people that were struggling with mental health before the pandemic, it has been even harder in this respect, especially for people who suffer from chronic depression, as myself. I'm doing so much better, but depression is something that I always struggle with, and I just need to find ways to cope. And my mind never stops. I'm always thinking something, and usually there are no pleasant thoughts. But that's changing thanks to mindfulness and the skills that I'm learning in therapy to cope with intrusive thoughts, with rumination, which I do a lot, and I'm learning to not do that so much. It's hard, but I'm getting there. So that's one of the things. First thing that I wanted to share, I kept myself busy. I love crafting. So I've been interested in certain things. I love journals, especially junk journals. So I always wanted to try, and I started doing that, and I loved it. And I would spend hours, and I mean all day, working on my journals, and that's actually so good. If you can do, I'm not saying start crafting, but it can be anything, knitting, woodwork, and especially with things that you can do with your hands. When you start seeing the progression and the result, and then I had my first journal made, I was so happy, so proud, and that really helped, because while I was doing that, I wasn't thinking. I was, really concentrating. The other thing that has really helped is to try to do something different every day. And here's two things. One of them, which is really difficult for me, is to have a routine. So having a routine is really difficult for me because I hate routine. But I finally understood that you need to have certain routine. Your body needs it. And especially when it comes to your sleeping pattern. I suffer from insomnia, and it took me a while to accept that I needed to have a routine and sleep certain hours. I am a night owl, and I can go to bed at 4 in the morning. But it's been very helpful when I try to wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time. That is something that has helped a lot, because I sleep better when I do that. But the thing is, I try to do different things every day, because when you feel like every day is the same, and like one day is a photocopy of the next, like, for some people like me, it's devastating. So what I try to do, and that's the other thing that I also hate doing, but I know I have to do it, is exercise. I discovered an app. I hate exercise. I hate the gym. I hate I hate running. But I think what I realize is that I'm too hard on myself when I try to do something new or something that I don't really enjoy doing that much. I was trying to exercise using this app every day and doing 1 hour every day. It was too much. There was no need to do so much. So now I'm back trying to do that again. But instead of doing it every day, I'm starting with every other day, and I do half an hour. Mainly because if I do 1 hour from not doing anything for a month, I would die. But I think I'm just gonna keep doing it like that, because otherwise, if it's too hard, then you don't want to do it. And then when you think about doing it, it's like, oh. But if you think, I'm just gonna do half an hour, 20 minutes, and then I'm gonna have a shower and feel great. I was doing it in the evening, so I was getting more tired to be able to fall asleep sooner, because it takes me a while. So now I'm doing that. And this app, for people who don't like exercising and do like dancing, it's awesome. My nephew discovered it and he sent it to me, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Sandy. It's so much fun. It's so enjoyable. It's like every time that I'm doing it, I'm thinking, why am I not doing this more? It's called Just Dance Now. I will leave the information down below. And you have songs, which are, very famous songs. You have Latin, you have songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 2000s. So, obviously modern songs, which I don't know any of them, so I I dance the other ones. So you're in a room, like you have the instructor, which is an animation, and you are competing with people from around the world. So it's 4 of you, and if you're very competitive, this is great. At the beginning, it's harder, and you get stars for every song. You get stars according to how well you did. At the beginning, I'm competitive with myself. So if I was getting 2, 3 stars, I was like, I need to get more stars. And I would, you start learning the songs, you start learning the steps, and you get more stars, and you get excited. And then next time it's like, yeah, I did 5 stars. And then you get, and then you get the superstar and the mega star, and it's like, yeah, I won, I'm first. So that's one of the things that really, really helps exercise. When you exercise, you release certain hormone, endorphins, I think it is. That one. It makes you happier and makes you feel better. I know. And my partner is always saying, you're gonna feel better. I know. So it's hard. I'm not gonna tell you, woohoo, I do it every day, and it's hard for me too. But if it's hard for me, I'm the laziest blob. And I do it and I see the benefits, then it's, you can do it. If not, if you don't like dancing, you can put a YouTube video, like there are loads, and follow maybe 20 minutes of exercise on YouTube. You can do strength training, or you can cycle, you can run, jog, walk. I'm trying to walk more too. Here's the thing, depressive, I always self-isolated when it wasn't normal, when it wasn't the norm. And yeah, that is really, really hard, because before, when things were normal, I would be isolating, and then I would realize, I haven't gone out in 4 days, or maybe I went out to the shop in the corner. That doesn't count. And then, people, if I had to go to work, or if friends would say, where are you? Let's do this, let's do that, let's meet and go to the pub and this and that. Now, that's, it's not something to joke about, because I'm lucky enough that this pandemic happened during a time where I'm much better with my mental health, but that's not the case for everyone. So if this happened the year before, I don't know what I would have done. When you self-isolate due to depression, and you push everyone away. And I have my partner here, but people who are alone and they don't have anyone to check on them, it's very worrying. If you are in that situation, I know it's very hard to ask for help, and I know it's very hard to reach out, because there's still so much shame and stigma, and you don't want to bother people, and you feel like there's no one to talk to, because if you talk to your friends, they love you, but they don't know exactly how to help. If you are like that, there are places that you can call. There are people who know how to listen, how to talk to you, and they're used to it. You don't have to be ashamed or worried of the things that you're going to say. I'm going to leave some links in the description box to of places that you can call. What I am trying to do now is, some days I do the dancing. That's my exercise, and the other days I will try to go for a walk. And there's something that really helps, because I have a problem with rumination and living in the past, and some people have I have anxiety too, and I worry about the future a lot, especially now. But something that really helps is when I go for a walk. I used to say I don't like going for a walk if it's not just going somewhere. There's no purpose. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just walking. But I love reading, and I discovered audiobooks last year. A bit late, yeah. And what I do is, when I go for a walk, I listen to my book, and that's really good, because sometimes I don't have time to read, and I can't finish any book that I'm reading. I'm usually reading several at a time. Now I'm reading a lot about mental health. So what I'm doing is, if I'm reading a novel, I download it on Audible, the Audible app, and then I can listen to the novel that I'm reading. So then I want to go for a walk, because I want to keep reading my book. And all of those things that I'm telling you, they're hard for me, because working at home, I'm telling people, welcome to my world, because I'm freelance. So for years I've been working at home, and it's like never seeing the sun, and then I get vitamin D deficiency, and now people are experiencing that, which is not good. I mean, I'm taking vitamin D supplements. Those things are hard for me. I have to force myself to go out and some days I just don't do it. But I'm trying not to be too hard on myself, because that's, you don't get anything good from it's I'm like that too, and I'm learning to be kind with myself. Wow, all of these things are so difficult. But I'm trying. So if I don't go out, usually my thoughts are, oh, again I failed again, I didn't go out. And now it's like, okay, tomorrow will be another day and we'll go out tomorrow. So that's another thing. So exercise, doing different things, having a routine, but try to vary and change. Here's another thing that I know probably you've heard is I don't watch the news. Sorry, I never did. And of course you have to know what's going on, but now it's like, why just fuel the fire of anxiety even more? We already have anxiety, we all stressed out, and we know everything that's happening. And I do have to know what's going on, because the rules keep changing here in the UK. So one day I can go out, the next day I'm supposed to stay at home. One day I can go to work in a coffee shop, the next day everything's closed and I'm cutting my own hair, and then it's open, I can go. So usually what happens is someone tells me. Someone is gonna tell you online, a friend or family, or so that's what I do. I just I try to stay away from social media. I'm not, first of all, it's a waste of time. I used to do it, read the comments and just get like, and try to, and then I would spend an hour writing something to, reply to a troll. So especially now where everyone is fighting, and I don't go into Facebook, I don't go into Twitter. The Instagram that I have is just mental health related, so that's good for me. And I'm not trying to say, oh, I don't engage in meaningless conversations. No. It's not good for you. I know it's not good for me. So just, or some people advise to just limit. If you want to know, if you want to watch the news or see, like, just do it once a day and that's it. But another thing that's helping me, which is also very difficult, but if you try to do it, it helps, is focusing on the present. I know it's difficult. There is a thing in therapy that I learned in therapy that's called radical acceptance, and basically things that are the way they are and that we can't change right now, we just accept them. Like, I've been doing so well, and I'm not gonna let anything pull me down again to the dark place. I'm just trying not to dedicate my time and energy to those thoughts, because it's just bad for me, for everyone. So what I do is keeping busy. Keeping busy is, for me, is life-saving. So that's another thing. When you struggle with routine, when you struggle with anxiety, depression, with your mental health, there's something that I found that is so useful. I love to-do lists. I don't know why, but there must be something in the brain. There must be some chemical that gets released every time I cross over something that I've done. It's just something very simple, and you get such a sense of accomplishment. And when you set yourself goals that are not realistic, I used to make these huge lists for every, for one day, and that was counterproductive, because obviously it's much more appealing to go to the couch and watch Netflix, and that's great. But when you do it all day, it's not good. It's not good physically, mentally, like it's not good psychologically. But when you set yourself like unrealistic goals or tasks, then you don't do them, and it makes you feel worse. And then the self-flagellation starts, and again, I failed. I can't do anything. I can't even complete the most simple 37 tasks that I set myself for the day. And again, I can't, and I'm shit, and I never finish anything, and that's me. But how do I deal with that? I do shorter lists, and it seems silly, but I put very small tasks. Make the bed, do the laundry, things that, maybe you're gonna do them anyway, but then when you're, crossing or putting a tick next to the thing that you did, you feel so good about yourself. And also it helps you, be organized. Another thing that you can do that helps, it's called gratitude journaling. If you love journaling, any type of journaling, it's great. It really helps as a therapeutic tool. It helps, putting your feelings on paper. I always did that, but now in therapy and through other people, I discovered that when you write down, you don't have to write it down, you can do it every day, but for me it helps when I write it down, because first of all, I need structure. I'm very so I have something that I will show you now. It helps me to write down every day a couple of things that I'm grateful for, and I'm using this at the moment. I don't know, if I'm not good with technology, I don't know where. And this is a gratitude planner that I won it on a giveaway, actually. I follow these people on Instagram. It's called Adbra. I'm gonna put the link, or their Instagram. So they make these amazing gratitude planners. So you can do both things that I was talking about in the same place. So everything is in the same place. So you have you can put the to-do list here, and you see it's not huge. So you can put just a few things that you know that you can do during the day. And then here you write something or things that you're grateful for during the day, and things that you're grateful for in your life. And I thought, before starting, I thought, okay, they told me to do this, and I don't know if I'm gonna even have anything to write about. That's how not used to doing these things I was. And I've been writing a lot. So it's amazing how the mind works. It's the same as with positive affirmations. All of this, until a few months ago, I was like, I hate all that shit. It wasn't for me. That's not for me. That, I'm not like that. Very positive person. But and this is not, this is not to say, oh, you have to be thankful because other people have it so much worse. No, I'm not going to tell you that, because that doesn't help. We all know that other people have it worse. I'm not talking about that. This is something that helps you focus, instead of focusing on the difficult things or the bad stuff that's happening. Obviously it's normal to feel those things, and but in therapy I'm learning, I feel that's the feeling, that's the my thought, and I let myself have it, and then okay, now let's move on to something else. And with the expressing gratitude or gratitude journaling, you're focusing on the good stuff that you have, and it doesn't have to be something important. One day I wrote, I'm grateful for hot water bottles and warm socks, because I thought, I'm enjoying so much, just having my comfy things, and I thought, oh wow, that's something. I wrote it down. It seems silly, but it helps, because I don't know, you're sending your brain certain signals, and what you're doing with this is you're retraining your brain. Same with mindfulness, you're focusing on the good stuff. You're focusing on the present. You're focusing on what you're doing right now. I'm doing this. I'm having this coffee, and it's so good. If you like coffee, I do. It doesn't sound like much, but then after you realize, like, oh, why am I feeling so much better? And this, it's all of these things that you can be doing. And there's something very simple. While you're being mindful, while you're practicing mindfulness, that's why I'm saying it's not just meditating. You can be mindful and being on the tube, on a bus, and you're focusing on something. While you're doing something, you are not ruminating. You're not thinking about the past. You're not like making yourself even more depressed or anxious with your thoughts, and you're stopping those intrusive thoughts. I know it's hard, I know, but I've been doing it for a while, and I'm practicing, and it's getting easier. I swear. Nobody's paying me to say this. I just want to share it. I get a bit excited. When you're using your brain is focusing on something else, or maybe focusing on, if you're having chocolate, which is good enough on its own, when you're focusing on the sensation of the taste, you can focus on one of your senses. You can focus on the taste, that your brain is working on that. So your brain cannot do that and also be doing something else. Obviously your mind is going to go somewhere else. It's normal. No mind, that's how we work as humans. That's not what I'm saying. Your mind is going to wander, it's gonna, but you are being mindful when you realize, and you bring it back, and then it's like, oops, I was thinking about all the things that I have to do, but then you bring it back to the amazing chocolate or the amazing coffee you're having. And while you're doing that, focusing on that, you're not focusing on the past or the all the things that I've lost. And so it does work. And same with being grateful, saying or writing down why you're grateful, and or saying positive affirmations. You're sending your brain these signals, and that's a very scientific explanation, but I know it is like that, and that's something that I am saying it helps. Again, nobody's paying me to say this, so if I'm saying it's because it works for me. Some of the things might not work for you. Some you might have other things that work for you, and that's why if anyone is watching this, please, 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 leave a comment and tell me what are the things that work for you, because I want to know more things too. I want to practice, and when someone gives me advice or tells me, oh, you know what, I can do this or that, that's really helpful, and I like trying new things. So if you can, and also if you share a comment, if tell me or what works for you, someone else can read it, it can help someone else. So hopefully even if one of these things helps, then I'm happy. And let me know if you try something, if it worked, if it doesn't work, maybe tell me why, and then we can think about how we can modify it. Again, I don't know if I said it in this video. I will write it down. I'm not a mental health professional. I am just someone who is in recovery. But this is my recovery journey, and that I'm sharing with you. And this is what works for me. Some things I do them more than others. Some things I need to force myself to do more. They help, even if it's in a small way. So let me know if you like something that I said, or if you think that this might be helpful. Maybe give it a and subscribe to see what else I come up with to talk about in this mental health channel that I'm starting. So, or give me suggestions, things that you want to hear, things that I can talk about, and share it with someone else if you think it can help. And be kind to yourself. That's something that I'm trying to do myself. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself. And we're all in a tough place. We're all struggling. But I know that we'll make it through. We can do it. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, if you're still watching. And I'll be here soon.